Hello world, welcome to Fashion Radio. I'm Cindy Galley, editor-in-chief of Fashion Magazine, currently an online publication. And now we get to come to you through podcasts. We're going to be covering everything from fashion to fun features and to even some harder topics in hopes to resource you amazing folks out there trying to get through this thing we call life. With us today is hairstylist Jammy Avalos. Hi, Jamie.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Good to have you here. She is the owner of Hadassah Salon in Highland Park, which is located in the heart of the City of Angels. So, Jamie, welcome to Fashion Radio.
Thank you for having me here today.
Oh, my goodness. No, thank you for being here. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Doing good?
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, no, we're excited to have you here. And I just have to say, wish we were filming because your outfit is killer.
Thank you.
It's so, you walked out, I go, okay, yeah, she's got it going on from head to toe.
Thank you.
So, Hadassah Studio, that's the name of your studio. And I just have to say, when I met you, I was really impressed with several things. But one of the things is that you stepped out in faith to believe, just to say, yeah, I believe that this salon is something that I should be doing. And then I also really enjoyed just hearing your story about how you came up with the name Hadassah. How long has your salon been in business?
I've been in business. This year would be 4 years already.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been amazing.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. I'm so excited. Tell us a little bit about your story, how the salon came to be. When we met, it seemed like from the story you were kind of talking about, it sounded like the salon came birth out of a dark place or out of a journey that you kind of felt like you were trapped and had no hope.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
All right, so can you just go ahead and share with us your story?
Yes. I opened the salon almost 4 years ago when I was going through a really hard divorce. I was in a really dark place in my life. I was a mother of a 6-year-old at the time, and it was just really hard. My ex-husband was cheating on me with multiple women, and I just would cry out to God and ask him to just help me get out of this place where I was, And one day my mom just said, you need to get out. You need to get out or stay, but don't tell me because it hurts me. She said, open your dream. It's opening a salon. She said, open it and I will give you all of my life savings.
Wow.
And when she said that, I was really depressed. I didn't want to look for a location or anything like that. And I just remember coming to her house where she lived here in Highland Park, and I remember going for a walk and I saw a lot of locations on York Boulevard, and she said, call this place, and I kept saying, I don't think I want to, Mom, but I did. I listened to her and I called that place, and I remember the lady, she said, there's 10 applicants before you, but go ahead and give me an application if you like. And I said, okay. So I remember giving her the application, and she was an older lady. She didn't want to leave. She wanted month to month. And, there was a lot to do at the salon. So I said, I'm not sure if I want this, but I gave her the application. Mm-hmm. And that week, I found my husband in a hotel with one of the many women. Mm-hmm. And that was 3 months already living like that, knowing that he was cheating and just crying out to God and asking him to restore my marriage. And at that time, I remember I just cried out to God and said, God, I can't do this anymore. Mm-hmm. I was just done.
Right.
I was done, but not really done because I still wanted to be there.
Right.
But I was done with the situation. I remember asking God to just get me out of there, that if it was of him for me to leave my ex-husband, then he will give me that salon. He would give it to me, which is almost impossible because there was 10 applicants before me.
Yeah, that's my initial thought when you said there were 10 applicants in front of you, and I'm thinking, wow, pretty gutsy and courageous that you, knowing those odds against you, you still applied.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. I took a leap of faith, right?
Yes, you did.
And I just did that. And I remember that day when I cried out to God that whole night, I cried out the next day. The time I still remember very vividly. It was like 9:48 a.m. And she said, honey, there was something about you that I saw that I really loved. And I just know that you're going to be very successsul here. And I was just in shock. I didn't know what was going on. I was just half awake, half asleep. And she said, I'm going to go ahead and give you that salon you want. And I'm going to go ahead and throw away those applicants.
What?
Yeah. And she said, and I'm going to go ahead and give you the first month free. I was like, wow, this is God.
Yes.
You know, he wanted me out. He had a bigger purpose for me.
Yes,
and that was the salon. And the salon has brought me many women that have been broken, that sit in my chair, and I'm able to speak life to them. You know, I love a preaching one of my pastors did that said, we just have to tell people our story and just let God do the rest.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have to tell them, oh, you have to come to God. But just tell them our stories.
That's
whatever.
good.
We all have a different story. We all could reach to different people.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's so amazing.
So now I have a salon, and it's been amazing. A really, really hard journey, but really amazing journey.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so you named it Hadassah. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Hadassah is in the book of Esther. The Bible says that she was also called Hadassah. And I felt like at the time I wanted to name the salon something that was meaningful.
Yeah.
A lot of people put like the name of the person and then studio, right? Or something, haircuts.
Jammy Avalos Studio.
Yeah, or something like that. All about me. But I decided to make it more something intimate, something that meant something to me. So I love the story of Esther, how it says that she left everything she ever knew. She left, I look back and I say she left everything, meaning she left her family, she left her neighbors, she left her friends, everything she ever knew. And the Bible says that she was scared to leave everything, to come into the king's palace, to get prepared to be introduced to the king, basically, you know? So I feel like I could relate to her. Like, I left everything I ever knew. I left my ex-husband. I left his friends were my friends. I left our family. His family was my family. I left everything, and I was scared to open a salon, especially because I don't know anything about business.
Yeah, that was going to be another question I had for you. Like, did you have any business background?
Not at all. Not even my family, nothing. I'm the first, I could say, the first generation that owns a business in my family.
Good for you, girl.
So, it's been hard, but it's been all God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, you know, I'm sure that there are a lot of women, young women, women really of all ages, who might be in a situation similar to yours. You know, like you said, I'm over it or I'm through, but then you weren't really through because you still loved him and you kind of didn't want to give that up. What would you say to somebody in that situation?
I would say I was only 27 years old when I opened the salon, and it just take courage, and I just give it to God. I gave everything to God, meaning everything, my whole situation. And even when I opened the salon, I wasn't, oh, I have the salon, God bless me with the salon and I'm perfect. I really wasn't. I grew bitter, I grew upset, I grew angry, and just giving it all to God and finally saying, like, that's it, the enemy's not taking control of my life, of anything, and I'm just giving it to God 100%. And just by doing that, you know, God opens doors, many doors. Even now, here speaking to you, it's a door opening.
Yes, I know. It's so true. I love that. Just as you were saying that, you know, taking courage, I'm reminded in Joshua, it says, you know, do not be afraid, but be of good courage, for the Lord your God, he is with you wherever you go. So you took courage, but you still walked through, you said you still had bitterness and you still had all these feelings that you still needed to walk through. How long did it take you from that time where you opened your salon? Because now you would never know that. I mean, just looking at you, you're just this fresh-faced, beautiful woman, top to bottom, inside out, you know, just hearing your heart alone, I'm like, wow, you're just this remarkable woman who's raised your daughter. You have a little girl.
Yes, I have a 10-year-old.
Okay.
I have a 10-year-old. I think it took about maybe almost 2 years to forgive. I have to forgive myself first, I think. And I had to forgive him. And I think now I could say, like, I hold no anger, no bitterness. I cry and I ask God for him.
Yes.
And I pray for him. And I have no bitterness. God has healed me in many ways.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's just been great.
Is there a place where somebody can see your story? I know that I've watched it on video. Do you have it uploaded anywhere, or?
I don't at the moment, but I am going to put it on YouTube soon.
Okay, great.
So,
okay, no, that's good. Is there anything else that you would want to share to somebody, that you would want to say to somebody who might be listening, in addition to what you've already shared has been extremely inspiring and thought-provoking, I think, even for me, just in the whole business side of it, because I feel like as a small business owner, sometimes you just get a little bit like, okay, this is too much. It's a little bit overwhelming. And then, so sometimes you might want to just kind of throw in the towel. Yet I know there's something greater, and it's God, and he's saying, no, this is what I have for you. Keep doing this. But what would you say to somebody?
I think I could say to a lot of women out there, especially young women, I mean, it doesn't matter the age. It's not only, people probably see like, oh, it's you, okay, God bless you with the business. It's been so much, a big journey in my life. I was also, raised by a single mom. I was molested. My dad was incarcerated. It's just unwanted pregnancy. So many things that I had to go through in order to get where I am today, where I feel free. But I could say it's just that there is a God, and he's big. And no matter your situation, no matter your problems, no matter how big you think it is, he is in control. And the enemy wants you to always look at your past, and he wants you to see like, oh, well, you did this, well,
That's
you did
so
that,
true.
and you're not better. But God has something better for you.
Yes.
And he will get you where you want to be, or where he feels like it's the best for you. So I just tell you that I would say just be you and give it to God, because God has bigger plans for everyone. And just take courage and be that person. We have our Father. If you don't have a father on earth, we do have a Father that he's big. I'm not the best hairdresser, but I do have a Father that is a king. And so because of him is where I am today. Because of him is where my salon has been successful. And because of him, I am able to raise this daughter.
I think that's great. And I do really respect the just your tenacity for wanting to share your story. Sometimes I think it can be some people could be embarrassed, or sometimes women feel shame or guilt. And the fact that that's why we're sitting here across from each other right now is, we were working an event, a wedding, or a vow renewal, and you were sharing your story with me, which just was so inspiring. It moved me to tears, and I just sat there, couldn't believe how everything had happened. And you just would put it out there before God. You'd say, well, God, if you want this, then this. And you just kept telling that, you just kept bringing it before him, is what you kept doing, even though you were hurt. And I cannot imagine the pain that you went through, and just the tears and the journey, the depression, rejection, all of those things you probably would feel. But yet you are willing to still share your story. And I think that's huge. So don't ever stop sharing your story.
And I think that's what people need to hear. That everyone has a story, and we should all share it, because we don't know what impact we're going to do with the next person. Because my story might not help some, but their story might help the other person. And I think even in the Bible, in the book of Joshua, chapter 4, it says that Jesus told Joshua to get 12 people from different tribes, and get a stone. And then the stone is in remembrance of what God did for them.
Yes.
And I feel like that stone is our storms. And those storms are to remember what God did for us and what he took us out of. So good. I feel like we all have a story, and we should share it.
That's right. We definitely do, because he's done so much in our lives. I'm always reminded about the goodness of God. Okay, so we look forward to seeing your YouTube video, and I'm going to be on you about that, girl.
Yes.
And now, does Hadassah have a website, or do you guys have a social media profile?
We have Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
It's Hadassah Hair Studio.
Okay, spell Hadassah for us if you would.
Yes, Hadassah.
Okay, so Facebook and
Instagram.
All right, sounds great. Well, I think we're already following you, but I'll make sure that we're on you with Facebook. I know we follow you with Instagram. Well, Jamie, want to thank you so much for coming on our show today. Truly, your story has been amazing and inspiring. Jamie will also be featured in our upcoming issues, so be on the lookout for more. This girl is a fashionista, even though she does hair. And I love that you said, I'm not the best hairstylist, but God is the giver of gifts.
Yes.
All of those things come from him.
Yep,
all the creativity. So
It does.
there's more creativity for you in that. But she's from Highland Park. Don't forget that. And again, this is Fashion Radio, which you already know. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be back next week with special guest Stephanie Singer. So be sure to tune in. You can connect with us on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, @Fashion Mag. But if it's YouTube, or Facebook, and now Periscope. You can find us on Fashion Magazine. Don't forget to email us, fashionmagazine@gmail.com. Tell a friend to subscribe to us on your favorite podcast app. And don't forget to spread the word wherever and whenever you subscribe so others can find us too. Special thanks to everyone for listening. I'm Cindy Galley, and we will have more for you next week on Fashion Radio. Hello world, welcome to Fashion Radio. I'm Cindy Galley, editor-in-chief of Fashion Magazine, currently an online publication.